Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast slash floss tube for fans of all things knitting, cross, stitch, and geeky. My name is Cece.
I'm Dammy.
And we are very happy that you're here today. Today is Thursday, the 19th of November, 2020. My show notes are sitting down here beside me. And this is episode 422. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love y'all. To all, I don't know if we did it there, maybe. Anyway, to all returning viewers and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. I'm going to reach over here and grab my coffee now. Dammy should be home soon. So hopefully this is the last one that we'll have to record this way until after the first of the year. And we are crossing all of our fingers and toes because the internet is being a little persnickety this morning. So hopefully it's going to cooperate so that we can talk to you about stuff. Cuddle buddy, I need my caffeine. So thanks for everybody's kind comments about me not recording Stitch with me on Sunday. I just needed to take a break. I needed to take care of myself. And so I took a bubble bath with a book and then worked on my Nanny Swimma sweater and just kind of took it easy. Because sometimes we just need to do that. So that's life. Dammy is in finals week now with their classes. Anything you'd like to say about finals week?
No.
You're just ready to be done?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's where we are at. We have no finished objects. We have no FlossTube because I didn't cross stitch because I didn't do Stitch with me. But there is some cross stitch content in Yummies. Yeah. So I think unless you have something else, we'll go ahead and get started.
And now we're going to talk about what's on her needles.
Do you have any crafting content for the week?
Oh, you wanted me to talk about my show?
No, that's not until Yummies.
Oh, no.
Okay. Dammy's going to talk about their play in Yummies because I promised y'all that they would. I warned Dammy. I didn't warn Dammy. I forewarned. I know that still sounds bad. I told Dammy that I told y'all that they would talk about their play in Yummies. Or in this week's episode, they just didn't know where I wanted them to talk about it. Yummies. That's where it's in the show notes. So, okay. My one and only thing that I have been continuing to work on is the Sinister Cadigan, which is a pattern by Marna Gilligan. I looked up how to, one of our lovely viewers posted some videos of how to pronounce Marna's company on Ketan Biag, I believe is correct. If I still butchered it, it's my fault, not hers. I'm knitting this on US Choose 2.75 mil needles. The yarn is Soundview Fiber Mill 100% Shetland fingering in Cece's pink, charcoal black, and natural colorways. My project bag is Elvis from My Favorite Murder. It's a tote bag from Alexandra Brott. And my Progress Keeper, most of the Progress Keeper stitch markers are from Ann Tudor. Okay, I was telling you all that so that I could set that down. So, Dammy, as of last night, I am sitting at 73,313 stitches. Yeah. This is probably going to end up being around, if I had to guess, around 100,000, but it could be more. Who knows? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get this all. Oh, sorry. I just bumped my table. Sorry, I should have done this ahead of time and I didn't do it. So I'm knitting this for, while I'm trying to get adjusted here, I'm knitting this for Nanny Swemo, which is National Knit a Sweater in a Month. It is a spinoff of NaNoWriMo, which is National Write a Novel in a Month, where you write a novel of 50,000 words or more in a month. The knitting version is to knit a sweater of 50,000 stitches or more in a month. This is my 8th year to do it, and I've completed it every year. So here is where I'm at. I know it's hard to tell in this big chunk of charcoal black. So this, I need more hands. This line right here, this where this yarn is connected, is where I'm going to put in, the pattern doesn't call for it, but I'm going to put in angled pockets, like what are on my hoodie right here. So hold on, let me zip up my hoodie so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So do you see how it's like straight across here and then it increases out? That's the kind of pockets that I'm putting in. So so I put in that waste yarn so that I can go back and pick up the stitches to make the fabric, the top part of the fabric. So right now what I'm knitting under here, it will end up being the pocket lining. And I should have measured this before we started recording, but I have not had enough coffee yet, and so my brain didn't. Let's see where I'm at. So I'm measuring from the underarm. So it looks like I need approximately another inch. I'll measure it better when we're not recording. Approximately another inch before where the ribbing will go in. And what will happen is, what I'll do is when I get to that length, I'll put all these stitches on hold and I'll come back up here. Sorry, my needles are pulling out of my little doohickey thing, but I don't want to drop stitches off the needles. I will come back up here and I will pick up these stitches and I will do the top part of the pocket. And then when I get, and then I'll knit all the way down to the length of the rest of the sweater. And then I will, I don't know if graft is the right word, but where you have where you have stitches on 2 needles that are right next to each other, and you knit into a stitch on the first needle and the second needle and knit those together. I don't know what the term for that is off the top of my head. But that's how I will put the pocket. No, it's not binding it off, because you still end up with live stitches. Because I'll have the stitches from the top of the pocket as well as the stitches from the lining of the pocket. And they'll be sandwiched together, one in front of the other. And then I'll knit into the first stitch on the first needle and the second stitch on the second, the first stitch on the second needle, and knit those 2 together. So I'll still have a live stitch, because then once I do that, then I need to do the ribbing still. So, excuse me. That's what I need to do for that. So I need to finish knitting to the full length of the sweater, go back and knit the top of the pocket, knit those together, do the ribbing, and then pick up for the sleeves and knit the sleeves. And then I will be steeking this. So we'll sew with a sewing machine. You can see, oops, there we go, where those lines are right there. We'll sew with a sewing machine 2 parallel lines to hold the stitches, and then I'll cut up the middle, and then I'll pick up the stitches for the button band. And then that extra fabric will get folded back and stitched in place. And I ordered buttons for the sweater. Did I talk about this last time you were on? I can't remember. Hold on, I have a picture of the buttons because I ordered them from on Kitan Biag. They're the Concerned Cat buttons. Not that I ever intend to wear this sweater, this cardigan buttoned, but so they'll just be for pretties. So, but those are coming from the UK, so I'm not sure when they will get here, but I know they've been shipped. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get here. So, so that has been the only thing that I have worked on craft-wise. I intend to do a stitch with me for Monday. So next week you'll have some cross-stitch content. So, okay, but I think that's everything for this segment. Let's move on to the next one. No finished objects here. Sorry, y'all. No cross stitch this week. But there is some cross stitch in Yummies. So let's move on to that segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. Okay, Dammy, you're starting.
Okay, what exactly should I say about this?
I
participated in.
Yeah, what I told them, I think last week was sorry, we're
off.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of a delay. I showed them the pictures that I took of the screen last week, and just told them, that you had done a good job and y'all had done a good job and everything. But do you want to tell them what the play was and what it was about and just your experience?
Sure. So I participated in a one-night Zoom reading, so exciting, of the play that my school was supposed to perform on the main stage in spring. The Shakers of Mount Lebanon will hold a peace conference this month by award-winning playwright Arlene Hutton. This was the first play commissioned for the Big Bridge Theater Consortium, which is a group of university theaters who gathered together to commission playwrights for new works based on interfaith dialogue. And so, yeah, this play was about these Shakers in the early 20th century. The Shakers are very similar to Quakers, but there's only 2 of them left now in existence. So yeah, I got to play the eldris of the main family of Shakers in their main village, and it was about holding a peace conference.
Because there was not peace between them. They were all fighting. Mm-hmm. They needed some peace. So, well, y'all did a really good job, and I'm really glad that you got to do something, even though it wasn't what was originally intended. So, yeah, the COVID, gotta love the COVID. Not really. Do you have anything else for Yummies before I talk about my stuff? Okay. Well, this is going to be really hard to show y'all, but I'm going to do my best. I got the Nice List box from the Black Needle Society. So this is their Advent box. It's a 25-day box. And I will be opening it for Vlogmas. So my first video will go up on December 1st. The way that I do Vlogmas is I record the day ahead. So I will start recording for Vlogmas on is there 30 days in November? On the 30th of November. And what I record on the 30th will go live on December 1st. What I record on December 1st on the 2nd, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll see me opening these. What I open on December 1st, you won't see until the 2nd, because that's just the easiest way for me to do it. So this box, this is the first time they've done a scratch off card so that you don't get spoiled. So each day you scratch it off and it says what it is. They also are doing a photo challenge where you can win a gift card to Etsy. But they told us when we got the boxes to please open the boxes and count all the parcels to make sure that we got them all. But when I did that, I couldn't get everything back in the way they had packed it. So I can't close the lid because, see, stuff is like piling out of the top. So, yeah. So I will be opening this box along with the... Oh, somebody's coming to investigate a box. What's in there? You think that's for you? I wish I could. I can't turn my camera to show y'all. Do you think that box is for you? You want to come up here? No, I just want the box. I will be opening that box as well as the yarn advent calendar box that I showed y'all couple weeks ago or so from On Katian Biag. And I will be knitting, it's mini skeins, and I will be knitting her cat vent cowl. And my goal is to keep up every day with doing that day's clue. I mean, this is from last year. This is her pattern from last year. So I already know what it's going to look like. I already have all the clues, but that's going to be my goal, is to try to keep up every day. She did a pattern for this year that she just released. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like hexagon pieces that make a blanket. But I was not interested in knitting a blanket. So, yeah. So that's the nice list. And also, I guess I can talk about this here. So Dammy and I were talking last night, because last year we did, I can't remember if we called it Random Acts of Kindness or Random Acts of Christmas. But what we did, and we're going to do it again this year, we're doing it a smidge different, but we'll be giving away from the 1st through the 28th. We will be giving away a single pattern of the winner's choice from our catalog of patterns every single day. And then the last 3 days will be a contest to win ebooks. And so how it's going to work is every day on my Instagram, which is CC_Java Pearl. So the letter C, CC_JAVAPURL. You need to make sure you're following me. And each day I will post, and you're going to comment on that post. You need to make sure you're subscribed to following me, subscribe to me, whatever it's called, following me. You need to like that post, and then you'll need to go to our website, javapearldesigns.com, find what single pattern you would like to win, and post that on that Instagram post. And then every day when I am getting ready to release the new Vlogmas episode, I will lock that post and random number generator for the winner. That winner, the person chosen, will get the pattern that they had said that they wanted. And then on the last 3 days of the month, it'll be similar, but instead of telling us a pattern that you want to win, we'll ask some kind of question, and you'll answer the question. And then each of those 3 days we'll draw one person, random number generator, one person. And then once we have those 3 people on the last day, we will random number generate between those 3 people, and the person chosen will get all 10 of our ebooks, and the other 2 people will get to choose one of our ebooks to win. So, and we're probably also going to do a coupon code for our Etsy store that will work the whole month. So just a heads up that that's going to be happening with Vlogmas in December. So stay tuned for that. And if you're not following me on Instagram already, head over there and follow me. Okay. I got from my friend Amy, Creativity by Gidge. I subscribed to her Color Street Gidge box, and I got my first one in, and I've already put on the first set of nails that that she sent me. This is Talk Turkey, which confused your daddy last night. He didn't understand that I was saying the word talk, Talk, talk. Sometimes I say words weird. I don't know. But yeah, so there's the turkey there and the tail feathers and the glitter. So that's one set that she sent me. And then the other set she sent me is called BU.
People like off with the turkey.
What?
Sorry, there's a big delay. You can flip people off with the turkey.
I could flip people off with the turkey. I did to Dammy last night accidentally, and then did it on purpose because they said it. It was funny. I feel like that's got to somehow be the title of this episode. The other set she sent me is BUBEEU, and they're a pale pink with bees. There's no glitter on those ones. So there's glitter on the ones I'm wearing right now. And then she wrote me this sweet, sweet, sweet note. And she also included this little set. This is called Home Sleet Home, SLEET. And so you could like have a, special sparkly nail. So I will put a link in the show notes where you can subscribe to her Gidge box. So I did the one where you only get 2 sets a month, but she also has one where you get 4 sets a month. But there's enough in one set for me to do them twice, but I'm really hard on my nails, so I redo them once a week. Some people can wear them up to 2 weeks, but I'm really hard on my nails. So but I just seal the extras up really well so they don't dry out, and then do them again. So I will be wearing this same design for 2 weeks, but I'll put them on a second time. Yeah. Okay, do we have any other yummies, Dammy? Okay, let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it?
It is our Crafty Photo a Day challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it in where you like. But we usually pick our favorites from Instagram. But because the U.S. presidential election is still so afresh and being contested, Instagram has temporarily disabled looking at recent posts in any hashtag to prevent the spread of misinformation. So for this week, we can only, again, show you the favorite photos that you and I chose, posted.
Yeah. And in next week's episode, we will have the the December list ready. I kind of freaked out this morning and was like, oh crap, was I supposed to have the December list ready for this week? And then was like, oh no, we have another episode. So it's okay. So yes, we are about to show you Dammy and my favorite photos that we posted. And hopefully by next week, we'll be able to start showing y'all our favorite photos of y'all's as well. So here come the photos. Great job, Dammy. You posted a really awesome picture. I don't know what picture you posted.
Oh.
And And I don't know what picture of mine you chose either. It'll be a surprise when I edit the episode. So it's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompts for the day. Do you know today's prompt?
I do not.
I'm looking. In your bag. So you interpret that however you wish. We're very cheater friendly on that. You take your photo, post it on Instagram, make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photo. If you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you because otherwise we can't see your photos when the hashtag's working correctly. So send Dammy a message, they'll follow you. All will be good in the world. Okay, well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. Dammy, look who came to visit.
Kitty.
Say hi, Dammy. Are you coming home to me soon?
Yeah.
Yeah, soon you will be here. Mama would not let me in your room yesterday. I did not like it. I know. I wanted to go in there, but you weren't in there. And it made me sad.
No.
But you will be here soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I miss you. Yeah. Okay, I love you, Dammy. I am hypnotized by this wing light. Do you see me? I so hypnotized. Ooh. Boogie boogie. Okay, say bye-bye, Dammy. Okay, I love you, Dammy. Okay, go down, go down, go down.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what have you been reading? I assume all for school.
Yeah, so I read An Octoroon, which is based off The Octoroon by Dion Boucicault. It's a readaptation of it. That's kind of redundant. By Brandon Jacobs Jenkins. Yeah, so I read that for one of my classes, my latent theory class. And then I'm going back over Harvey, which is another play by Mary Chase, because I'm doing scene work from it for one of my finals.
Okay. You still have the shakers on there. Did you mean to leave that on there?
Oh, I probably did. The Shakers of Mount Lebanon will hold a peace conference this month, workshop versions by Arlene Hutton, and The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Kajingo.
Well, I know with it being finals week, you're definitely getting at least 15 minutes a day of reading in, yes?
Regrettably.
Yeah. What am I referring to?
The October, November, December RAL.
Read along. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. And you post in the finish line thread in our Facebook group. And by participating in the seasonal RALs, you earn entries into the year-long challenge where at the beginning of 2021, which is about a month and a half away, less than a month and a half away. We will draw for 3 grand prize winners from all the entries that came throughout the year. There are ways to earn bonus entries. All the details are in the show notes.
GGKCS.com.
As well as in the Facebook group. Once Dammy gets home, we are going to pull those grand prize bundles together. So we will pull those together and take photographs and show y'all. I don't know if it'll be next week, but definitely in the next couple of weeks, we will have those grand prize bundles pulled and ready to show y'all. So, okay, I read a lot this week. I have not been sleeping well, and so I have been reading late into the night. I finished reading Shameless, A Sexual Reformation by Nadia Bowles-Weber. Very, very well done book. definitely appreciated hearing her viewpoint on things. And, there's talk about purity culture and just quite a few things that I've mentioned over the last few months that I've been reading a lot about. I am continuing to reread Unashamed, A Coming Out Guide for LGBTQ Christians by Amber Cantorna. This is the book for November for the LGBTQ Faith Book Club that I'm in, which is a book club for both people who identify as LGBTQ as well as allies. And I think I have maybe 2 chapters left, so I'm getting really close to the end of it. Very, very well done. She writes both for people who are coming out as well as for allies and parents. So it is a really interesting read regardless of where you are in that community. I'm continuing to reread book 5 in the Harry Potter series, The Order of the Phoenix, along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week was the first half of The Centaur and the Sneak. And so this is the chapter where this is after Umbridge fires Trelawney. And then Dumbledore brings in, do you remember the Centaur's name off the top of your head?
Ferenzi?
Yeah. So the first half of the chapter is or half-ish, or first part-ish of the chapter is his first class. And the rest of the chapter is when I can't think of what the student's name is, but she rats out the DA to Umbridge and they get captured and all the stuff that happens in Dumbledore's office. So that is what, so I'm assuming next week we'll have the second half of the chapter. I am continuing to read the Red Rising saga by Pierce Brown. Actually, I'm listening to. I finished listening to book 4, Iron Gold, and I started book 5, Dark Age. This is a space war dystopian type series. Book 5, Dammy, is like 33 hours long. Thankfully, I listen at 1.5 speed, but still, that is a lot of hours, especially when you only get the book for 21 days because if somebody is on the hold list waiting for it. So I've been listening to it. I don't think there's anybody on the hold list after me, so if it takes me a little longer, it'll be okay, but yeah. I finished reading I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. I talked about this one a little more in detail last week. This is a kind of it was inspired by, Dammy, do you remember who the author of the book Rebecca is? I want to say it's like it's a French name. I can't think what it is. Anyway, it was inspired by that. And this is about a college student that goes missing. And then there's this whole teenager who moves to be like a nanny for the summer, but she looks like the teenager who is missing, and this whole thing, and lost memories and blackouts and all kinds of things. It was very well written. I really enjoyed it. I read, which feels fairly apropos for the season that we are in with the world with the COVID, Road Out of Winter by Allison Stein. And it is that with all the climate issues that the world is having, spring and summer pretty much disappear, and it's pretty much fall and winter everywhere. So crops aren't growing. People are losing their jobs. There's no food. And so this is about I want to say late teens, maybe early 20s, but I feel like late teens, girl who her mother and she moved onto this property with this man who has been growing drugs. And before the world started, like before the seasons disappeared, the mother and the man move like to California, and she's left there to take care of the farm and growing all these drugs. Well, when everything just kind of goes to heck, she leaves and is trying to get to some place where it's maybe better. And there's all these things that she comes across as she's traveling. She meets up with people. There's kind of a cult that she runs across. I mean, it is a very dark, depressing book, but it was so well written. So if that's something you might be interested in, check that one out. Road Out of Winter. I'm continuing to read the Lucy Kincaid series by Allison Brennan. This is an FBI series. Lucy is an FBI agent. I finished reading book 13, Breaking Point, book 14, Too Far Gone, book 15, Nothing to Hide, and I'm reading book 16, Cut and Run. I think I'm almost caught up with the series. I think book 17 has come out. I think I put a hold in for it. So, and then I'm caught up with the series. And then I also read a book that was referenced on one of the podcasts I listened to, and I couldn't tell you what podcast it was right off the top of my head, but it is it's a YA book called Autoboyography. So instead of autobiography, Autoboyography by Christina Lauren. And this is actually, as I finished the book last night, this is actually two friends that write books together. One is named Christina and one is named Lauren. So their pen name is Christina Lauren. And this is set in Utah. And it is about a teenage boy who moves to Utah with his family, and he's bisexual, but he doesn't tell his family knows, but he doesn't tell anybody because they are everybody's Mormon. Almost everybody is Mormon in his high school, et cetera, et cetera. Well, he's going into his last semester of high school, and there's this class called the seminar, I believe is what they called it. But essentially it is, you are required to write a book in the 4 months of this semester. And in the previous year, one of the books that was written was picked up by a publisher and is being published in the course of this story. Well, the kid that wrote the book that is being published comes back to be a TA, a teacher's assistant in the class. He is the son of a bishop in the Mormon church. But he and this other student, and it is a very interesting story of how religion can affect your ability to understand your sexuality, and how oppressive religion can be and family can be when they are impacted and they inform their life so much around the religion. The book that the kid writes, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. But he essentially writes the story of what's happening with this bishop's son, between he and this bishop's son. And there are ups and downs and twists and turns and all kinds of stuff. It was very, very well written. If you are at all interested in kind of a coming of age, coming out, how religion can impact things, if you're interested in any of that at all, I highly recommend this book. It was very, very, very well written. And I feel like it is probably very true to how people within the Mormon faith who discover that they are LGBTQ, how they can be impacted by their religion and family. So it was very, very well done. Okay, watching. Monk, we finished rewatching season 4 and we're rewatching season 5 now. I don't know why I did this. I told Dammy I did this and they were like, what are you doing? I am binge watching The Handmaid's Tale. Because there's not a lot of emotions and upheaval and everything in life right now. I need to watch this show about this whole messed up world that really could happen. I finished binging season 1 and I think I have 1 episode left in season 2 since I recorded last week. Alexis Bledel from Gilmore Girls is in it.
I know.
She's not in every
Samira Wiley.
Yeah. The episode I watched last night, oh crud, what's his name? From The West Wing. Bradley Whitford, I think is his name. It was a guest spot in it. Yeah, it is messed up. It is rated MA because there is violence and language and sex and yeah, it is messed up. So this is not something to watch with your children around. But yeah, just how easily this could happen in our world right now. I'm watching season 4 of The Masked Singer. I have an episode to watch later today. Watching season 15, the final season of Supernatural. Actually, the final episode is on tonight. I'm not sure what they're going to do with this episode because last week's episode, I had to go look it up because it felt like it could have been the finale, but it wasn't. But they beat Chuck, they tricked him, took away all his power, and now he has to live out his life as just like a human. They got all the people back. You weren't here last week when I talked about it. Chuck like disappeared all the people except for Sam, Dean, and Jack. Yeah. So I think I'm pretty sure there's also supposed to be like a second thing, like I think maybe before the final episode with like a retrospective type thing with the different actors and looking back at the like 15 years of Supernatural and all of that. So yeah, we're watching season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. They found the Federation, what's left of it. So watching season 2 of The Mandalorian. There's other Mandalorians. He found them. I've got the episodes saved ready for when you get home to watch them because you haven't watched them yet, right? Okay, I'll watch them with you. I'll rewatch them and while you watch them. Season 9 of The Blacklist started. Oh, what's her name? That's the main character.
Liz.
She's gone off the rails.
Oh.
And turned her back on the FBI and is helping her mother. So, NCIS LA season 12 is going. NCIS New Orleans season 7, which continued with the real true to life COVID, what was happening in March. Very triggery. If you don't want to watch something that is about the COVID, don't watch this. We watched the first episode of NCIS season 18 last night. I'm kind of pissed because they started the episode in March 2020. And what do we see happen? Gibbs shot McGee twice. Like one time I think was in the arm and the other was in the thigh. And then we jump back to November, and like there's like Gibbs is trying to help Fernell with because his daughter had overdosed and was in rehab, and Fernell and Gibbs are determined to track down the drug dealer and try to cut the head off the snake and that whole jazz. So that was part of the storyline. And then there was the other storyline with a regular, a case, and there's a missing body and whatever, this whole thing. But then they stop there. They don't tell us what the heck happened in March that Gibbs is shooting McGee. Am I going to have to wait till like the end of the season and find out like why Gibbs is shooting McGee?
You'll probably have to wait until the mid-season finale for that to catch up, and then it will continue.
I guess.
This has happened for the past few seasons of NCIS, and you're always surprised.
Well, I forget.
This is a plot device they use a lot.
I forget. And I don't know if they had filmed any of season 18 prior to the COVID. Because there were still episodes. I doubt they had, because I think they didn't do as many episodes in season 17 as would have been normal because of the COVID and not being able to finish filming. So this, I think, is probably all brand new. And then the other thing, I watched the next episode in season 1 of Next. This is the one, the show about the AI becoming sentient and is trying to like destroy the world. And there's this small group of agents and this tech guy who are trying to stop it from happening. That whole thing. Listening to the My Favorite Murder podcast, random Spotify playlists. What about you?
I am listening to Cabin Pressure and random Spotify playlists.
All right, there you go. That was a long segment, but I told you I've been doing a lot of reading, and TV is starting to come back slowly. I think there's some of my shows that are coming back like in January. So hopefully they're all being very, very safe in filming. I'm sure they're having to be like tested before they can be on set, and probably wearing their masks other than when they're filming a scene and the like. I mean, I know some storylines like on NCIS New Orleans, they're wearing their masks in a lot of the scenes because they're filming that kind of storyline. But for the shows that are not like including COVID in the storylines. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was an epic segment. Let's move on to the next one.
Now we're going to talk about the September, October, November Artistic Autumnal Owl. I'm reading from my phone, which is right here.
I have mine right here too.
Okay, so this runs through the 1st of September through the 30th of November, which is approaching. It's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to autumn. If you can't think of anything, you made it in the autumn. There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of September, then finished no later than the 30th of November. And the second main rule is that each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If it's not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single photo and thus a single comment in our Facebook FO thread, and that will count as one entry. For stitching and sewing projects, it's up to your best judgment. You can feel free to poly dip with other alongs as long as it fits in with their rules. That's fine. Do you want to talk about the Google form?
Yes, it's especially important because the owl is ending in 11 days. If you have entered in anything into the owl and want to make sure that if you are a prize winner, it's actually something you'll use, because, not everybody's a knitter or crocheter, weaver, not everybody's a spinner, not everybody's a cross stitcher. You need to make sure and go fill out the Google form. The link is in the show notes as well as in the Facebook group. If you don't fill out the form and we draw you as a prize winner, you'll get what you get. So it's really a good idea for you to go fill that out.
Yep. Speaking of prizes, we've got lots of wonderful prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our donors. If you're interested in donating a prize for a future owl, you can email us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com. You have to be a member of the GGKCS podcast group on Facebook in order to participate. That's facebook.com/groups/GGKCS.
And answer the questions.
There's a hash. Yes.
If you're
Our
joining
cat
the
is
group.
pink. Our cat is pink. Cece is the mama. And then scroll down and click agree to the rules.
Yes. If you don't know the answers, because we had somebody this week who honestly didn't know the answer to one of the questions. It's just fine. Just tell us that. I mean, we're just trying to keep out spammers is what we're trying to do.
There's a hashtag if you want to tag your projects. So we could look at them when hashtags are working normally. It's GGKCS Autumn 20. The Facebook FO thread will be locked for comments the morning of 1st of December, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And as always, any winners have only 30 days from the day the podcast goes live to claim their prize, or they forfeit it. And there's also a chatter thread in the Facebook group where you guys can chatter. And then I'll give shout outs to people who finished projects in the last 2 weeks. They are Alyssa, Carol, Emily R, Jane S, Lisa, Reevy, Sarah G, and Tracy.
Great job, everybody. So yes, from the day we're recording this, you have 11 days left to enter your projects. Next week when we record, because Dammy will be home, we will announce the December, January, February Walking in a Winter Wonderland Al. And the prizes. So that's the other thing that once Tammy gets home, we will also pull prizes for the Winter Wonderland Owl. So we'll have all those details for you next week, and then we'll lock the autumn thread on the 1st of December. And so you won't find out the prize if you're a prize winner for autumn until like the 4th or the 5th of December, whenever the next podcast that we record. So. Okay, I think that's everything for this segment. Let's move on to the next one.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them. Is Pink doing something?
I was trying to see where she is. She is asleep next to one of the legs of the TV table.
Right, okay.
And I can just I can just see like the top of her head over the top of my laptop. So that's what I was looking.
Well, this question was originally asked and answered in 2016. Crystal asks, I've decided that I would do some charity knitting this year, and I've started making preemie hats. I love your pattern, as it's super easy and looks great. I was wondering a few things. Do you just do an internet search to find hospitals or NICUs that accept donations, or do you call them? I would really like to donate locally if possible. When you send in the donations, do you label them in any way? Size, fiber?
Okay. So first up, my pattern that Crystal is talking about, you can get it for free on our website, javapearldesigns.com. Just go into the patterns and look for the free patterns. And there's a free top-down preemie hat pattern that it's what I use for all the ones that I knit. I'll have to catch up on the ones that I've missed during Nanny Slow-Mo. And it has I think 7 sizes in it. So it's got a wide spread. So what I do is I figure out what hospitals are local to me that have NICUs, which you can find by doing, a Google search. And then if they don't have specific information on their website about donating knits, I contact the volunteer office. It's usually called something like volunteer services or something like that, because typically donations either goes through them or they know who we need to talk to at the hospital about donations. And each hospital will have different, regulations. Some hospitals may want you to tag each hat with what the fiber is, what the size is, etc. Some hospitals may say have like restricted fibers, like the fibers they won't accept. Some hospitals may be open to everything. So you just need to find out what their rules are. And the hospital that I tend to donate to here locally, I usually just mail the hats to them, to their volunteer services office. I have a big, actually Panda Express brown bag on top of my yarn cabinet in my office in the dining room. And after each week after we finish recording, I just toss the hat in there that I have talked about in the episode. And then when I have enough, I pack up a mailer bag of hats and mail them off to them. Just so they don't have to drive and then find parking and because, you end up having to pay for parking, and it's usually cheaper just to mail it to them. I know there are some organizations, like if you don't have a hospital that locally that accepts preemie hat donations, I know there are some organizations online where you can like ship it to them and they will distribute them through hospitals that they have contacts with. But I try to do locally if at all possible. So find a hospital, find your local hospital, find out if they have a NICU, check their website if they have info on it. Otherwise, contact their volunteer services office. You can usually find their email address on hospital websites. Otherwise, just call the hospital and ask for the volunteer services office, and they can guide you or put you in contact with the appropriate people. So that's how I do it. That's a really good question. And I was like, it's been like 4 years since we answered that. And I'm sure some people have wondered. So that's what I do. I mean, and there are some hospitals that like accept like blankets or sweaters or, all kinds of different things. So you might check because they might have other needs, knitting or crochet wise, that they would accept. So thank you, Crystal, for asking that 4 years ago. And I hope that information helps anybody who is wondering. So Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeks post in our Facebook group and put it in the comments, or you can put it in our YouTube comments.
Yep. There's not been a single question that's been asked that we haven't been willing to answer. So feel free to ask away. All right, let's move on to the next segment. All right, Tammy, we made it to the end of the show. Yay. Okay, so next week is Thanksgiving in the U.S. And it's on Thursday when we typically record. So I think what we're going to do is record on Wednesday. And I don't know if I'll put it up on Thursday or if it'll be Friday like normal. So by our normal time next week, there will be an episode up. It might be up a day early. It just depends because we won't be able to record until I'm done with work and class. So it'll be into the afternoon before we can record. So it just depends on how long it takes and editing and all that stuff. So, but there will be an episode next week. It'll just, it might be early. It may be normal. We'll see. And I do plan to record a Stitch with Me this weekend. So again, thanks to everybody for your kind comments and reaching out. And I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all. This community is just so special to us, and we really appreciate y'all. Okay. Sorry, emotions. Okay, just a reminder that I have a coupon code for y'all for the Black Needle Society. My code, all capital letters, is Java Pearl 5, JAVAPURL, and the number 5. All this info is in the show notes. It'll give you a discount on your first box of a box-to-box subscription. The 6 and 12-month boxes already have a discount built in, so it won't work on that, and it's not valid on special edition boxes like the Nice List box that I showed y'all earlier. But if you're interested in getting a cross-stitch subscription box, you should definitely check it out. I'm very excited about a lot of the things they have upcoming. They're going to be doing a Gilmore Girls box, Dammy, and I'm so excited. So, okay, we'd like to say a big thank y'all. We love y'all so much. for everybody who is part of this community. We appreciate your support, no matter how it is. Watching us supports us. Thank you for your comments, for your likes, for entering the RAL, entering the OWLs, all the things. But an especially big thank you to those of y'all who are able to support us financially to help cover the costs of the podcast. Primarily, that is shipping prizes out. So thank y'all to those of you who are able to do that. If you're interested in doing that, we have now 5 ways you can do that. First is Patreon, which I'm going to also spin into that YouTube join. So both of those are a way that you can support your favorite creatives and earn rewards based on the level that you donate at. If you want to know more about Patreon, you can go to
patreon.com/GGKCS.
If you want to know more about YouTube join, you can, if you're on YouTube, underneath our videos, there is a join button. Click on that. There's a video that I've recorded that talks about it, as well as all the details. And there's no need to join both of those. The rewards levels are the same on both things. So pick one, do that. What's another way, Dammy?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
Yes, we are bookshop.org affiliates, which is an organization that helps financially support local independent bookstores. If you look at our show notes, each week there is a link to a bookshop list of all the books that we talked about in that week's episode. But you can also just go to bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS and shop. And we earn a little bit, and local bookstores also earn some money based on that, on your purchase. And then the final thing is we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first, click on the appropriate Amazon in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, do your shopping as normal. We earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Okay, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at ggkcs.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Yeah.
All the things. Okay. We're going to encourage you to please wear your masks. Please make wise decisions about getting together with people. I know here in Washington State, the governor has put some restrictions back on things because, nationwide, pretty much worldwide, COVID cases are skyrocketing. So please make wise decisions. I saw on Instagram last night, somebody posted a thing. I wish I had saved it. I don't know if you saw it, Dammy. A thing of I don't know, 6 or 8 cities in the US and what the percentage chance of somebody at a gathering having COVID is. So I don't remember, but for in one city, it was a 40% chance that somebody at a gathering would have COVID. So I know it's hard not to be with family and friends, but we've got to protect each other, y'all. Please, please, please make wise decisions, please. Pink is coming over here to tell you, please make wise decisions. Are you going to come up? Did I move the box that you were smelling? Did I move it? I put it back on the table, didn't I? Want to come up? Maybe. She's staring at me. Maybe she'll come up. Yeah. And, oh yeah, here she comes. Here she comes. How come to say goodbye? Come to say goodbye? Can you tell them have a great weekend and wear your masks and be safe and happy crafting, and we will see you again next week. Okay? Bye. Bye, Danny. Bye. 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 You're so sweet. You're like, put me down, human. Why are you holding me? I come over here to smell the box that you took away. That was not nice. Ooh, hypnotized by the ring light. Ooh. All right, bye, y'all. Somebody is being awful cute. It's Pinky. Pinky's being awful cute. Hello, baby. I love you. Oh.